Hey everybody, it's Deanna with toolsofenergyprotection.com. How are you doing tonight? Sorry about that, just running behind, and I've got some people trying to call me, and the energies are just crazy. Very crazy. We just finished up with our beautiful inner circle group. I love each and every one of them. We had a great talk and a great chat tonight about what's going on and the frequencies, and it just is huge right now. The energies are wiggy. There's a lot of disruption in people's lives. There's a lot of turning and just going the other way. And myself, I can't seem to keep up with my schedule. Running behind 90 to nothing. So I'm going to go ahead and get on Facebook so that I can see everybody's comments, and then we will get started. I'm so excited. It looks like we're building here. So if you have a moment let's see here. If you have a moment to share on these live videos, at the bottom there's a little share button, and you could share it with your friends to let them know that you're on here. That would be fabulous. And I'm going to get out my notes. Had quite a few people responding and asking me questions, so I would like to get to a few of those. Okay, I know they're down here somewhere. So I can get over on my Facebook Live feed. Thank you for being patient. Woohoo! Looks like we've got quite a few people joining us. Yay! I'm always excited when that happens. So I'm going to scroll down here in my... All right, so Jessica Hurley, hi. And Jessica Usler, hi. Trudy, thank you for joining us. Rhonda. Looks like, let's see, who else have we got here? Let's see, Stacy, my sister. Tracy, good to see you tonight. Nicole, Cherie, let's see here. Candace, thank you for coming over. Missy, yay, you found me, yay. Jessica, who else have we got on here? Debbie, Murray, big kisses. Sarah, glad that you're here. And Susan, hi. Thank you everybody for joining me. This is so exciting. You know I love doing this. So please share, share, share. I put a bunch of emails out and announcements to get as many people here as we possibly could, and I did get some people that responded to me. I wanted to find really quickly so I can answer as many questions. The desired outcome with these is to have people come live, but I know sometimes there's a conflict, and it seems like no matter when I schedule this, there's always somebody working. So when people do ask questions, I do try to get to them as much as I can. So anyway, if you want to share, down underneath here somewhere on the live, it'll say share, and then you can share to your friends and they'll know we're on live. If not, you can share later. So there were several people that wrote me when I told them I was going to talk about deceased loved ones and two deceased loved ones. It's one of the greatest honors I have is this job. For those of you who have only just gotten to know me, I do many different things in the spiritual world. And for those that have been with me for a while, you know that mediumship was basically a gift given to me by God about 4 years ago. I wasn't looking for it. I was clearing energies from people's energy spaces. I was helping them move forward and doing transformational coaching. And I wasn't looking to be a medium. And one of my clients came to me, and hi Tracy Carson. One of my clients came to me, and this is very serious, and I would like everybody really to know what I'm about to tell you, because if you can share it with other people, you can help their world be better. So one of my clients came to me about roughly 4 or 5 years ago, and she was suffering greatly from depression. Her sister, who was only a few years older from her, had tragically died. She was, I think, just in her mid to late 50s. And her heart stopped and she just boomed dead. Nobody could save her. So my client had come to me to clear the energy of depression because she was having trouble going to work every day. It was so bad that she went to her doctor and she got on medication. And she was like, if it doesn't get better, I don't know how much longer I can work. And grieving is an interesting journey in itself. And I learned a long time ago in this business that nobody can ever tell you how long you're allowed to grieve. You just can't. If you lose a child, if you lose a husband or a wife, or somebody dies in a tragic accident, you're going to grieve, and there's different stages of grieving. And in my book, nobody can tell you how long you can grieve. It just takes a while to process. It could be months, days, weeks, or years. But for grieving to be debilitating to where you can't go to work, that's not such a good thing. And as you all know, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a psychologist, and I'm not a psychiatrist. But I've been doing this job a long time, and I'm always learning. So when my client came to me, and she couldn't move past her sister's death, and she came to me for her energy to be cleared, and we asked the angels to come forward and help her and to clear her energy, the next thing I knew, I started hearing another woman talking to me. And I asked who she was, and she showed me a picture of a beach like in California. It was that color sand in my head. And she was playing in the water. She was like 11 or 12 years old, I think, and there was another girl with her. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't know what this is or who this is. I thought it was an angel giving me a picture or something. And I said to my client, I'm seeing this picture in my head and I'm not sure what it is. And in an instant, she just started crying. And she said, that's my sister. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how I got introduced to being a medium. It was just boom. So I talked to her, my client, and I talked to my spirit level client, and I found out that she died so quickly and so young and so tragically that she didn't want to go home. She didn't want to go to heaven. She didn't want to go to the other side, however you want to look at that, or another dimension. She wanted to be with her sister that was in body, and they were so close. So why is it that my physical client was grieving so much that she had to be on meds, that she could hardly work, that she could hardly think? And that took me a little while to learn, and that's what I really want. My desired outcome is that you will pay attention to this so that you can help me and other people. Because this is what happens. You have an energy field around you. This is normal. This is science. It's called an etheric body. It's called a toroidal field. Hi, Ed. Hi, Bridget. No problem, Ed. But it's called a toroidal field. And if everybody who's on tonight, if you're not holding, hi, Judy, if you're not holding on to your cell phone with one hand, I'd like for you to go like this. Put your middle finger on your thumb. Hi, Tracy. And your middle finger on your other thumb. And then you're not going to be able to see this, but I want you to put your hands out in a giant letter T. And then let your thumb and your finger go. Now that middle finger on either hand, visualize there being a pen or pencil in it, and you turn in a circle. And that circle that you're turning in, please don't get yourself dizzy, that is your energy field. It's usually shaped kind of like an egg. That is where your electromagnetic frequency is. This is science. This is normal. Now, imagine that a human being, which is a clay pot and a spirit being manifesting itself in a body, imagine that that physical body can no longer support life. Where does the spirit go? Or the soul, if you prefer. Where does it go? Well, if you believe some of the books that you have read over the years, thank you for the hearts and the thumbs up. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Lets me know I'm doing good. But if you look at the books that have been given on near-death experiences, there is a chemical that is released in the human brain when it's getting ready to die. And I forget the name of the chemical. But when that happens, it gets us ready. I believe it's near the pineal gland, but it gets us ready to die and to transform to the other side. It opens our consciousness, our third eye, our spirit eye, to be able to see the other side. That's why when people are laying in a bed towards the end of their life and they see all these spirits that we can't see, or grandma's laying there and she's talking to grandpa, that's why. Because that chemical has been released to help her cross over, to help her go from physical eye to spirit eye to the spiritual self. Oh, thank you, Candace. She says DMT is the chemical. Thank you, Candace. Thank you so much. DMT is that chemical that's released in the brain before you get ready to cross over. Hi, Chad. So when that happens, the physical body is no longer supporting life, and the spirit body comes out. And that chemical transformation allows basically for a clean transition. People that die tragically or people that commit suicide, this generally doesn't happen. So when that chemical is released, the person's soul comes out. And there's a white light. You can read many books about people that had near-death experiences, and almost every single one of them will tell you that they saw a bright white light. And they heard beings talking to them about something, and they chose to come back. And back in the body they go, and poof, they're alive again in their physical body. So that's how it happens that I understand it. Haven't transitioned out of this body yet, don't remember the other ones. Candace says the scientists call it a spirit molecule. Thank you, Candace. So we were talking about what I'm leading up to is what happens when these people go. So when you transform, hi Wendy, when the soul comes out of the body and the physical body can no longer support life, then that spirit body either has to go through the light, which there's a whole conversation about what that actually is, or it doesn't have to go. It still has free will choice. So if that spirit body then, soul, chooses not to go back through the light, back to God, back to source, cross over, go to heaven, go to another dimension, whatever you like to think, all of them are true, perspective, then that soul is floating around, right? Just like you and I, but it doesn't have a body. And it can pass through things, you know, pass through doors, whatever it wants. Please don't let that scare you. But now, 3.5 Earth days later, that hole, that white light goes bloop and closes up. Kind of like an umbilical cord that gets cut off. Why do you think the tradition is that when people die, especially the Judaic tradition, usually the Christian tradition, that when people die, they have 3.5 days to bury them? That's why. Go and look that up. It's very interesting history, very interesting culture. Hi, Wendy. Good to see you. Mallory and Kevin. Hey, everybody. And hi, Deanna, my other sister. So, I'm looking for, oh here, let me get an object so I can show you this. This, in the 3D world, this is actually called a mouse. It's a little wireless mouse. But I would like for you to visualize just for a moment, hi Tanya, that this is a disembodied spirit. So it was in the body. Uh-oh, hang on. My cell phone's about to go disembodied. Just a moment. And my infinite wisdom to get started tonight. I didn't plug this guy in, so let me, sorry about that. A little technical difficulty here. All right, we're back. Okay, so imagine that this little mouse is a soul, spirit, and it's inside a physical body. Physical body can't support life. It comes out. It chooses not to cross over. Window of opportunity closes. It's stuck. Where does it go? Where do these people go? Well, lots of different places. Some of them choose to hang out in the energy field of the near the person that they love. So remember, we took fingertip to fingertip and we stretched our arms out in a capital letter T and we turned around. That's your personal energy field. You ever had anybody stand too close to you and you're like, ee, you know, that's because they're in your energy field. That energy field, although you can't see it, does have a direct, I can't have the right word, it has a direct impact on your physical body. Your energy field is kind of like your little antennae and how you sense and feel things, but it also cycles through you. So what I found is that when these spirit beings that love us, say this is your mom or your dad or your child even, or your great Aunt Edna, and they don't have a body and they could go anywhere they want and they happen to be hanging out in your energy field, guess what? They have not processed their human life. Hi, Joellen, thank you for joining us. Hi, Nicole, thank you for joining us. They haven't processed their human life. Everything they thought, everything they felt, every pain, every agony, every joy that they ever felt is in this little encasement. If you've ever seen an orb, any of the little ghost hunter films, that's what they look like. They're little orbs. And they don't have a body anymore. To me, that's a living hell. Because in that little orb, you can't, you know, go into a body, because then when you die and the hole opens, you could go home and you miss that chance. And unless somebody comes along that can cross them over to the other side, either somebody like me or an angel or, you know, that, they're stuck. And so they go around checking everybody out. So they might come and, they might come out and hang out, you know, with me, you know, and I don't know it. And if they're really grieving that they lost their physical body and they didn't want to leave me and they want to be with me, guess what? They're going to hang out with me wherever I go. And so now my energy field keeps running into this over and over and over, and it processes whatever they had. So if they're missing me or they're grieving me, I'm now processing that grief. And that's why people have challenges. This woman that came to see me was grieving so much, and what she didn't know was her sister was in her energy field. So because her sister can't process it, she was picking it up and processing both of their griefs. And that's why she couldn't work. That's why her mind couldn't function. So after she talked to her sister and processed what was going on for her within and talked to her, and I, translated back and forth, or mediumship back and forth, we opened the light to the other side, and her sister happily went home, and we closed the light to the other side. And I'm glad to report that within a few weeks, she called me back She was off the medication. Her head was more clear, and she's back to work. Now, can I claim that happens for everyone every time? Absolutely not. But I've seen it so many times in my practice. That's why I decided to come on and share it tonight, because I don't think enough people realize this is available. This kind of work, this kind of freedom is available for you and your loved one. And for that reason, I normally do not do half-hour sessions anymore, except at the Denver bookstore. Because once we get to talking, it usually takes a whole hour. But for that reason, I thought that it would be a really good idea. Let me pull up my calendar here. There's a number of you that have never met me, have never worked with me, and have been wanting to work with me. And so I'd like to provide you an introductory opportunity to work with me. Let me pull this up so I get it right. So if you have somebody that you know that is challenged in that way, I would love to talk to them. You know, you're more than welcome to buy a session for them. Sorry for the reflection, but it's my laptop. To work with them, to, you know, have them have that relief or release. And I'd be glad to chat with them just to make sure that's what they need. But in wisdom, if you're grieving, seek out counseling, seek out your medical help. You have a mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, and energetic body. And so it's always good in wisdom to do that. So, here is your opportunity. At the beginning of the year, I said I would not do any more half-hour sessions except in Denver at the bookstore because it's just not enough time. But I thought about this today, and I thought about all of the people who may be like, wow, I would really like to work with her, but I'm not sure if I want to get in at the level of an hour for $100. I get it. So what I did today is I went on my calendar and I'm offering a 30-minute appointment for $49.95. 30 minutes. We'll find out who's in your energy field, if there's someone there, and talk to them a little bit, let you talk to them, and send them home, if that's where they want to go. I will not force anybody who doesn't want to go home. Some people just don't. But we'll have them relocated so they're not in your energy field bothering you. I know loved ones aren't a bother, but if you're processing, you know, two people's stuff, that's not right either. So how could you do that? You go to my website, which is tools, TOOLS, of energyprotection.com. Click on Work With Me, Sessions, and scroll down to where it says Appointment Book. It's a little red button. You can't miss it. And it will take you to my appointment book, and I already have set up in there the 30-minute reading mediumships. You click on it. I have scheduled some times that I have available for those, so it'll show you exactly what time slots are open. And then on Monday, that door will close. And that opportunity won't be available anymore. Well, maybe until 6 weeks or 7 weeks. I don't know. But it'll be shut. So if that's what you desire, get on right now and go set up your time before you forget. Okay? And it'll send you a reminder. Hi, Lisa Anderson. Thank you, Ed, for that sweet comment. Thank you, Tracy, for your comments of reassuring people about my skill. You're going to make me cry. Okay, so moving right along. I did have some questions. 2 lovely ladies reached out to me that had to work tonight, absolutely couldn't be here, and so I'm going to answer their questions. I'm going to go, let me pull this gal's question up here. Oh, look. Aha. My appointment calendar shows me when somebody books. There's already people booking on here, so you might want to hurry and get your spot before they're gone. Okay. Okay, then I had a lovely lady named Tammy Bales, I believe it is, Balles, and she said she would love to take part in tonight, but she was unable to make it. And she said her first husband of 25 years passed away, and she has a 15-year-old grieving daughter and a 6-year-old son who don't know him. Tammy, you touched me. It was pretty harsh, and I'm sorry for your loss. I don't know what his name is, but let me see if I can get him to come forward. Hi, Paul. Hi, Joe. So I'm asking for Tammy's husband to come forward. Okay. I'm getting that he's here. I got goose pimples. You cannot fake these things, or God bumps, whatever you call them. Chicken skin. So, Tammy, if you're watching this later, your husband is coming through. He's very strong and kind of a silent type. He's one of those spirits that kind of like he sees me and he understands, but he doesn't really believe in me. So if he was still in body, he wouldn't be a person that would make an appointment to see me, is what I'm getting. Of course, he says he loves you. He says he hears your prayers every day. He says he is with God, so he has crossed over, but he still hears you. He says he shows me like a little megaphone. So wherever he is on the other side, he has like a megaphone, you know, backwards, so he can hear you. He says he sends you, okay, this is interesting. He says he sends you groceries. So I'm not sure if you two had a connection about that when you were married, about groceries or discussion of them, but he says he sends them to you. He says something about lots of coupons. So I don't know if that's a joke between the two of you, but I do give you what I receive. He's saying something about your grandpa. Oh, he's seen your grandpa. Okay, so he must be on the other side too as well. And that's it. He said he would like to talk to you, so if you do want to make an appointment, and if not, I understand. And he's going to step back. He also indicates that there's a couple of other children. So I'm not sure if you've had children since he's been gone, or there were other children you two had planned on having. But he said in regard to the 6-year-old to show him pictures, and apparently there's a video or something as well. Okay. And he's respecting the time and stepping back, and thank him for coming. All right, then the next one I had was Missy White. If you're watching, you had a question. You said, is my grandma Violet okay, or on the other side? So I'm going to send my angels to go find your grandma. Whew, okay, more goose pimples. Okay. So she did make it to the other side. She says she actually stands in the corner of your room about 12:30 in the afternoon. So I don't know if you smell her like a perfume, or when she's near me, I smell more like a baby powder kind of perfume. And then she shows herself knitting. I asked her if that's something she did or wanted to do, but it kind of feels like it's like she wanted to do it, maybe couldn't in later years because she couldn't see, or her hands were not well, but she seems like a very crafty person. Am I getting it right? If you can put something in the feed, I'll switch back over where I can see your replies. To see if you have anything there. But Missy, if you're still on, and you can type and let me know if that sounds like her. Ooh, okay. Oh, good. It looks like I'm getting some more notices. It looks like a few more people are taking advantage of the special of the $49.95 for half an hour. So that's awesome. I'm glad some of you are taking advantage of it. If you missed it, toolsofenergyprotection.com, and click on sessions, scroll down to the bottom, click on book now, and you can find a time. If you are on the East Coast, the time will show you according to your time there, or on the West Coast and not Colorado time. Okay, yes, Missy's saying she's very crafty, quilting, and a florist. Awesome. So we know we have the right woman. Thank you, Missy. She's showing me a pink dress, and then it's like an hourglass figure like when she was younger, and then it's like she gets the middle that we all do when we get a little bit older, and then she's pointing at you and giggling. So I suppose you either didn't get that gene or you still have your hourglass figure, but she is showing me being dressed in pink. And she's saying something about birthday cakes. And she says you're quite a flower. So that's awesome. All right, so there are a few more live questions. Let's see here. And Missy, I'm asking that your beautiful Grandma Violet kind of step back. She will continue to visit you at like 12:30 in the afternoon in your bedroom. If you're standing in your bedroom and your headboard's behind you, she'll be at the footboard down towards the right side. So you may smell her. But yeah, she says you're quite a treasure. Okay. Then Trudy says, can you please tell me if my son made it to the other side? Trudy, please hold on one moment. And I'm very sorry for your loss. I'm asking my angels to clear my energy field so that I can bring in just your son. Okay, Trudy, your son is a more modern spirit, and I mean that in the old days, I found that people either crossed over or they didn't, and there was no in between. And what I'm finding now is spirits are on what I call a revolving door. So what does that mean? It means that they go from this side and they cross over and they go home, and somehow they have an agreement on the other side, I don't know, and they come back. So if you've seen the doors, especially in New York, in the big buildings where you hold on and you go in a circle and it turns, and you can get off or on as you're going around inside or outside the building. So he's on one of those. And so what that means quite literally is that he did make it to the other side. However, he comes back and forth very frequently. So if you're feeling him, he said when he's near you, you feel kind of jittery. So that means you can feel him in your energy field. And it's not because he hasn't cleaned up and gone home yet. It's just because when they come back from the other side where they're pure love, they will more or less put the mask on of who they used to be, which is the energy, and superimpose it. So I'm not sure what happened to him at the end. He's not really available to talk to, but I do get that he comes back and forth and that he makes you jittery when he's near him, kind of a little nervous. So if that's happening for you, you can let me know that by responding in the feed. All right. And thank you, Trudy, for asking. But there's nothing wrong with him going back and forth. It just means he has kind of a foot in each world, which would also tell me he might have kids here. He's not really saying. He's just kind of, standing off to one side, which usually means they don't believe in me, and that's okay. Now he's stepping forward. He says, it's not that I don't believe in you. He said, you just have a lot to do tonight, and I don't want to tell you everything. Wow, quite an articulate young man, Trudy. All right, so I'm going to ask him to step back. And Deanna Hellberg, Not me, the other Deanna. Yeah, sister from another mother. Asking the angels to clear my energy field once again. Ooh, okay. And then I'm going to ask for the angels to go and find your father, your dad. And see if he'll come back. Okay, so he's not with me at this moment. He's chosen to come back from the other side, which they can to visit for a little bit. But he's there with you right now, Deanna. That's what he's actually with you right now. So, Trudy, if you want to reply in the feed, that's fine. But yeah, he's with you right at the moment. You might be feeling the chicken skin or the goose pimples. I mean, sorry, Deanna. Your dad is with you right now. So he's not really chosen to talk to me, but he's taken this opportunity. My angels have escorted him to you, and when he's done, he'll go back. They're indicating to me that he has a heavy smell, like, not to be rude, but like a heavy body odor, or maybe perhaps a cigar. So there we go. Let's go down a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and clear myself from that and ask the angels to complete that. All right, Judy, yes, your dad's heavenly anniversary is tomorrow, and he does love you, and you know that. And he will come and see you in a dream, I hear. Yes, I'm getting yes, in a couple of days. All right, and then Stacy says, can you find my brother or aunt? And also, Stacy, we have something else to take care of, and I haven't forgotten you yet, so we'll get on with that. Okay, I'm getting your aunt isn't available, which means that she's on the other side. Somebody else had asked me about that too. But your aunt is on the other side and she's busy doing something else, and so it's just kind of like she's not available, but she is there on the other side, so she's all good. And I'm looking for your brother now, or actually the angels have sent them out. Okay, so yes, I have found your brother. He is in spirit, but he's not coming forward either. He's ornery. He's a little ornery and not wanting to really come forward. He says he doesn't want to make himself public, and that's understandable. So reach out to me, private message me later. You have my private number, so let's get together on that. Cool, Missy, her birthday. Okay, her birthday's this month. All right, Philly, I believe it's Philly. Philly. It says, Kate, the kids are missing you, and I miss you. How can I help them? All right. So, Philly, Jean, I would ask you to reach out to me, and not shameless self-promotion, but let's make a time to get together. And I would like to channel your loved one for you and give you some closure on that. Spirits on the other side do know that we miss them. There's no doubt about it. If you talk to them out loud, they do and can hear you. Sometimes, like I said, they're a little busy doing something else, so you may not feel their presence, but they do get your messages. We are all one family, so have no fear there. But Philly, please reach out to me, private message me, let's get together. Rhonda says, anything about mom or dad? Yes, Rhonda, your mom and dad, I can hear them, and they are giggling. Your dad's more belly laugh, your mom's more of a giggle, but they're surprised that you would ask because they say they're always with you. So what does that mean? It means they've crossed over, they've gone home, they've gone to the other side, and then they will come back and they can visit and they can be with you in your presence, and that's a special kind of relationship. Sometimes they don't always do that. But I'm double checking, and I'm getting 100% that they have both transitioned and gone to the other side. So they are with you. They're telling me blue. I don't know if that's a joke or their favorite color, but if you have some blue available, I would put it near their pictures on your dresser. They feel like they're on your dresser. All right. Jade, it says, I have been feeling my mom recently, and I was wondering if it is really her. Just a moment, Jade. Let me tune into you. All right, Jade. They're going to look for your mom. Okay, Jade. What I'm understanding from my angels is that your mom has been around you a couple of times. They say last Wednesday she was with you. She's not with you always. There's angels of comfort that come to you. That are steadying you out. That are keeping you emotionally upright. So you say that you feel depressed when you feel the energy. It could be because of her loss, but I feel more like there's some unsettled energy between the two of you, not necessarily negative. That energy can be resolved through energy clearing work. And I would love to facilitate that for you. If you would like to reach out and get one of these sessions, I'll be more than happy to work with you on that, but that's what I'm getting for you. So thank you, Jade, for writing and for sharing that. All right, Tracy says, my dad will have been gone 8 years this November. Think about him often. Does he come around during the day or the night? Your dad is very quick. What I heard in my head is, I'm always there. What do you mean? He's funny. So it seems like he's pretty present with you when you talk to him. There is an angel of light that does stand down at the foot of your bed, and one with each of the family members in your household at night. So you may be feeling them as well. All right, Trudy, you're welcome. Susan, it says, is my dad still around? He's been gone for 26 years. So let me clear my energy field, and then we'll ask. And thank you for everybody that's joining me tonight. Thank you so much for being on Facebook Live. Big hugs and kisses to you all. If I'm answering some questions and giving you some validity, could you please give me a heart or a thumbs up just to let me know that you're there and that this is of value to you? And I want to check. I just heard a... Oh, look! This is so cool. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the hearts. For those of you on YouTube won't be able to see it, but they're hearts. Thank you so much. So this is very interesting. I'm on my appointment book, and it shows me there are some of you booking. Yay! And taking advantage of the special. So once again, when I do these mediumships for people, they're very involved. We talk to your loved ones, sometimes your angels and your guides, and I I normally do not do half an hour sessions because they're just not long enough. I do them at the bookstore in Denver, but I don't do them privately or via Skype or Zoom or the phone anymore, or in my office in Loveland, because there's not enough time. So because I was getting ready to do this tonight, and I know there's quite a few people who have never met with me and they want to jump on board and they're not sure where, I have offered once again a half-hour appointment for mediumship, and it's on my calendar, and I have taken the price. Usually when I did half hours, I got $60 for the half hour, and I have it marked at $49.95 for tonight, so that's quite a big savings. If you think about it, it's about a week's worth of coffee at Starbucks. So if you've got the opportunity, jump online at toolsofenergyprotection.com, click on sessions, scroll to the bottom and click on book a session. It'll take you right to my personal appointment book and show you all the times that are still available. It looks like I have one day that's almost full. I do have some weekend times. So if you're not able to get with me during the week, I did schedule one day for this weekend. I'm giving one day of my weekend up to work with everybody. So jump on there and grab that spot really quickly. All right, moving right along. Susan Johnson, you want to know if your dad is still around after being gone 26 years. I get, yes, he's still around, but he's actually reincarnated. They say a nephew. He's come back as a nephew. So he's actually part of him back in body. So that's pretty awesome. Yes, Deanna said she got goosebumps. That's good. Trudy. Okay. So Trudy, it looks like you've lost quite a bit of people. And we did talk to your son, or got you some information on that. So I would recommend that you do meet with me. Jump online and book that session before they all get booked up tonight. Because again, I won't be offering half-hour appointments except for the store in Denver until I probably do another one of these live feeds. So take advantage of that way you can. Let's see. Jessica says she wants to know if her grandparents are around and if they're watching over your daughter. Yes, the grandparents are around, and yes, they do watch over your daughter, but only sometimes. So they're like visiting grandparents from the other side. They come, they're with her for a while, and then there's guardian angels, and they have other things that they're working on. Let's see here. Brandy just joined, but better late than never, Brandy. I'm so glad that you took an opportunity to jump on. Big hugs. I hope I've answered some questions. If not, when this gets replayed in the feed, you'll be able to go back and watch it from the beginning. So that's no problem. Andrea, I was wondering if my gran is loving my kiddos since she never got to meet them because she passed before I had them. She says something about 6 years. So I'm not sure if that was 6 years ago when she passed. But she wants you to know she's there and six years. So that's the answer to that one. Stacy wants to know if we can find Mallory's grandmother. Woo, she came very quickly. That means she's still around. And Mallory's grandmother feels a little off. So what that means is that she has passed, but I'm not really sure if she's kind of gone to the other side and kind of not, but she hasn't crossed totally over yet. It's not like she's gone and come back or she's just stuck. So she's somewhere in the transition phase, and I'm not sure why. So we might want to look at that at a different time. So I'm going to ask to be cleared from that. All right, and then one more question. Stacy's asking me about Kevin's father. So Kevin, your dad is one of those that goes back and forth through the revolving door. So he had transitioned completely, gone to the other side, done what he needed to do, and then he's come back to check on you. He's briefly giving me a couple of things to tell you. One, he says you're a pain in the woo-hoo. I don't know if he called you that when he was a boy, a little pain in the woo-hoo. But he says you're also a kick in the pants. He says you're a chip off the old block. And he's laughing, so I'm not sure if he's serious or if there was a different relationship between the two of you. But he is quite the jolly guy, and he shows me like suspenders or overalls with like a red t-shirt underneath it. I'm not sure what that's about either, but we can delve into that at a later time. I'm going to ask him to step back. He says he's going to come and visit you. So you might, if you remember his smell, you might smell him. But he says he'll try not to scare you. Okay, next is Brenda. Hi, Brenda. And she wants to know if her parents have any messages for her. Your mom says you're beautiful, loving, and of the light. And your dad says go for it. He says he held you back a little bit. So that's the message for you. So let's be cleared of that. Nancy, your friend Colleen passed last year. Says I'm curious about my friend Colleen who passed last year about this time. Is with her youngest who's passed 3 to 4 years ago. She left 4 other kids here. I'm wondering if she teases them from the other side. And I'd have to quantify teasing, but she more views them from the other side. She watches them. The interaction, not so much. It's more of just a tickling of the energy. So it's like she doesn't want to bother to disturb them, but she doesn't want to be forgotten either. So if that makes sense to you. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. So again, I would very much like to meet with as many of you as possible. And so I have not only come back and doing half-hour appointments for this event only, and then at the bookstore in Denver where you have to come and see me. But normally I get 100 for an hour and then 60 for half an hour. And so for tonight's event, I have gone online on my appointment book and set 30-minute appointments for medium. When you go to the website and you find the appointment book, scroll down to where it says half-hour mediumship appointments, either weekday or weekend. And the weekday are $49.95, which is just a steal deal. And you know, Mother's Day is coming up. And so if you have a mom that maybe has some missed loved ones or relatives that she would like to talk to, you can get this as a Mother's Day gift. And if you would like to do that, you can private message me and I will send you a link for a gift certificate. I did not get the gift certificates up for this special event today, although there's some on my site, but they're a different, more expensive thing. So if you'll text me or give me your number, I'll call you, I'll take the payment, and I have a beautiful gift certificate that I've made up for just this event, and I will send it to her in the mail for Mother's Day so she can call and have a reading done if she would like to do that. You can buy one for yourself or your friends as well too. But I ask you to please take advantage of that. It helps keep the lights running. It helps keep my cell phone running so that I can be with all of you and do the job that I truly love to do. All right, let's take a few more questions. Karen Wade says her brother passed 6 years ago and she thinks of him often. if you're thinking about him, generally speaking, that means from the other side they are thinking about you, and we're very connected in that way. Sarah asked, does Grandma know we were with her when she passed? Of course they do. They always do. The soul can see and feel and sense even when it's out of the body until it crosses over to the other side. Brandy says, I really miss my Aunt Betty. Any messages? Brandy, please get a hold of me privately. I'm going to wrap this up. It is getting late. And then Lisa says, my mom has been coming in my dreams the last couple of weeks. Could you help me with that? Yes. If you don't know what she's telling you, yes, absolutely. Because when they come in our dreams, they really are talking to us. If not, it's an angel that's getting a message to us in a way that we know. But I feel it in my heart, Lisa, yes. She's absolutely reaching out. You're just not remembering it in your conscious awake state. So get a hold of me. Go book on the website at toolsofenergyprotection.com, and we'll get together. If you don't find a time you like, just text me and I'll get you set up for that. Yeah, Feli, thank you so much. Let's see. Yes. So, Felipe, great. Thank you for reaching out to me. You're probably one of the ones that I'm seeing people booking online already. So you might gotta hurry. I only put a couple of times in there for people. I put some tomorrow and a few on Thursday, a few on Friday, and a few on the weekend. So once they're gone at that rate, and you'll have to book at the full rate. So, you know, that's a big savings. Let's see here. Karen, is your brother still around? Again, if you want to set a time and we can delve into that. And you are welcome. Judy says to purchase an hour with me, it's the best deal. That's true, but sometimes people just want a little bit. Hi, Nikki. And it says, will you let Graham know, this is Andrea, that the boy I'm caring for is going to be named Clay for her. Andrea, you know, you're more than welcome to talk with me, and we can talk back and forth to her, but when you speak to her, she always hears you. Just know in your heart that she does hear you. And Susan Johnson says, the energies must be high. You keep freezing up. I have to finish watching it when it's replayed. Thank you, and have a wonderful evening. You know, the electromagnetic energy is a wonderful thing, and I've had people tell me that before. In fact, when I was doing the energy shift updates on this night instead of these presentations, they would often freeze up, and then the screen would go all wonky, and I'd look funny, and I always thought it was, you know, my internet provider, this or that, but I saw one of my very close friends who's a medium in Denver, and hers did the same thing. So it just must be our magnetic personalities. Love you too, Missy. Love you too, Judy. Nancy, thank you for joining me. And everybody, let's see. It looks like Stacy's going to reach out for a certificate. Kama, man, please forgive me on some of these names. But it looks like Kama Ayana wants to know, her husband wants to know if his grandma may be mad at him. Generally speaking, once they leave the body and they go home, they don't hold the anger. They go back to God. They go back to a place of love and a place of peace. So the answer to that probably is no. Grab a session if you want to be sure. Chad, you're welcome as always. So I'm doing these terrific Tuesdays every single Tuesday. And I'm going to be covering a different subject for about a 6-week period, and then I'll repeat them. Or if there's a subject somebody wants to know about, you're welcome to send me a message, either privately. If you're on YouTube and you're watching the rebroadcast, put it down below and I'll respond to it. Even if you're on the Facebook, put it down below and I'll respond to it. I do the best I can to respond to all of the requests on YouTube and Facebook. And then on my WordPress site as well, I will post this. And yes, I'll answer there too. But next week, what I'd like to talk about is highly sensitive or empathic people. And if you're a person that's susceptible to energy vampires, if people drain your energy very easily, or if you're fatigued all the time, especially if you work in a psychiatric ward, I've had a lot of those lately, or nurses, please join me next Tuesday. I'd like to talk to you about highly sensitive people, how to shield yourself, how to protect yourself, and make it easy and effortless. And here's a taste. If you're a highly sensitive person, generally you're going to put your hand up like this to try to block people out or shield people up or out. So if you say shields up, you hold that energy field like this. And so I have a question for you. If you're highly sensitive or empathic and people drain you or you absorb everybody's energy, how long can you do this with no support? You can't see my elbow, but no support. How long can you do that? How many hours? Days? Not very many. That's what happens with your energy shield. You can't hold it up for very long if you don't know how to flow it through divine love. And so you become exhausted and people plug into you and more things attach to you. And yes, sometimes disembodied spirits will attach to people and drain them even more and cause them issues. So that's what I'd like to talk about next week. And until then, please take advantage of this special. I don't do it very often. toolsofenergyprotection.com. If you can't find it, leave a message in the feed. I'll put the link there for you. Click on Work With Me, scroll down to Appointments, click on the appointment, go get yourself a 30-minute appointment for $49.95. I looked them up on the internet today to see what other people were charging, and I'm seeing anywhere from $175 for an hour to $400 for an hour. That's amazing to me. So, just saying, compare shop. And I love each and every one of you. I couldn't do this without you. Big hugs, big kisses, and have a fabulous night.